Hello curl friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and today I'm going to be bringing you something a little bit different than what I've done in the past. I feel like in the past I have done reviews on shampoos, conditioners, and hairstyling products. So this review I'm bringing you today is based on something I think that we all experience in some way, shape, or form, and maybe a little bit more so for some than others, but that is some shedding or hair loss. Now typically for me, my shedding tends to be the most in the fall, which is what's the season that we're coming up into when I'm starting to film this. But I did have a little period of hair shedding that was a little bit more than normal. I want to say about a month ago, and I feel like I've been out of that now for about a couple weeks. So I did want to try something new. It's from Curlsmith, and it's just part of the scalp stimulating line. Ideally, you're supposed to use it for 3 months, it says, to notice any noticeable results. But I have about a month's worth, so we're going to start with that, see where it leads us. The first one that you're supposed to use in the morning is the scalp stimulating booster. So it has a little nozzle here, and you just apply it directly to your scalp area. You're not supposed to rinse this out or wash it out. And then the nighttime regimen is the full-length density elixir. And this has a little dropper form that you just apply directly to your scalp. And you're not supposed to rinse this out either. So I've heard from other influencers that neither of these leave any greasy buildup, which is good. And so I'm going to show you my kind of like the density of my scalp, and then I will be applying this product. Okay, so I'm getting closer here. And for starters here, this is the thickest part of my scalp area. I hope I'm in view of the camera, by the way. Right up here in the front, I have fairly dense hair. You don't see very much of my scalp. And it is the same way in the very lower back part. Kind of, I have like a mohawk of it, so to speak. My thinnest part of my scalp is on the sides here. Both sides. I hope I'm giving you a good enough view of this. I apologize if it's not that clear. So that's what we're working with. I would like to focus these products mainly in my thinner scalp area. See if it does any good. And I will also apply some on the top area as well. But let's get started. Okay, for starters, I'm going to show you the length of my hair, how long it is. Hopefully I am in view of the camera because my hair is quite long when you stretch it all the way out. Okay, it goes down just, I feel it where like my bra ends. But should be marked on the stripes too, kind of. It looks like it's about to this lower stripe here. Okay, so now I'm going to start by applying the scalp stimulating booster, and I'm really not sure quite the consistency of this. I will put a little bit on my fingers just so you can see. Maybe I'll put, ooh, there's a cap on it. My bad. Forgot to take the seal off. So I'm going to be putting a little bit on my fingers so you can just kind of see the consistency. Ooh, it came out fast. And I'm just going to rub that into my scalp. For the rest of it, I will be just applying it directly to my scalp, I believe. Just going to rub that in. Directions don't really say how much, so I guess you apply it as much or as little as you want. And it just says to massage in entirely. This is really hard to do when I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to try to part my scalp on the underside and get a little bit in there. I'm just basically going based on how I can feel it hitting my scalp at this point. And massage that all in. Scalp massages are supposed to be good for your hair, stimulating your scalp and the blood flow up there anyway, so maybe the rubbing does as much as anything. I don't know. You know, I've never really been completely or very consistent in doing oils to my scalp and scalp massages. I'm just, sometimes when I have my hair up in the bun and I've just worn it like that all day, I'm going to be wearing it to bed in the high bun. I just don't take my hair down to do a scalp massage. It's just not something I've gotten in the habit of. Should I? Probably can't hurt, but I haven't done it so far that much. Okay, I feel like I have this rubbed in pretty good, and so we'll keep doing this for a month or until my supply runs out, and then we'll check and see any results that I may have at the end. Okay, girlies, we are back and we are in my bathroom. I apologize if you hear the overhead fan. I have that light on and it tends to try to make the lighting a little bit better. I still look really red in here, but I can't do anything about it. But tonight we are going to be applying the full length density elixir. And so this once again is in the little dropper form. And I guess I'm just going to be parting my scalp and applying that. Since I kind of have this middle part right now, I'm going to take my rings off real quick. Okay, since I have this middle part, I'm going to just do it in the middle first. Just putting a few drops there. And I'm going to put a few drops here on the sides. Once again, I didn't see where it said a specific amount, so just doing what I feel like is best. And I said earlier I wanted to focus on these side spots because that's where my density is the least, I feel like. And get a little bit underneath here. And then I'm going to rub it all in. Okay. Now, just gonna rub that in. I honestly don't know how people talk about doing 5-minute scalp massages. I get bored with doing this. That probably wasn't even a full minute, maybe 2 minutes at the tops. But I've heard people say that it's good to massage your scalp once a day for 5 minutes. I'm like, who has time for that? Okay, so this is my day 1. I did the scalp stimulating booster earlier. I'm dripping oil. Sorry. And then I did this tonight, this full length density elixir, and I'm going to try that as long as my supply lasts. It's probably about a month, and they say that it's best to try to see the best results for 3 months, but we'll see where I stand at 1 month, how I feel, if the products appear to be doing anything, and go from there. So I will check back with you at the end of the month. Okay, curlies, I know I said I would check back in a month from my starting point of September 5th when I started the challenge of the scalp stimulating booster and the full length density elixir, both of these. And because I seriously thought this would be about a month's worth. They said that 3 months was ideal to try this for, but I thought I only had a month. I was surprised. So I thought I'd do a check back in a month's time, which was like October 5th. I didn't, there really wasn't anything to show or anything I felt like was significant. So this is now December 1st. December 5th would be the 3-month period, and I am just about out. I think I have one more use of the scalp stimulating booster and one more use of the full length density elixir. So these lasted a lot longer than I was expecting, and I'm very happy about that because these were fairly pricey in my opinion. I mean, if they do the job, then perhaps they're worth the price, but I guess that depends on your budget as well. But I will link these items down below so you can click on the link and find out the price, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But in my opinion, it was in the upper 20 range, and in my opinion, that's kind of pricey. So what do I think of these? First of all, to give you a little bit more better idea of how these worked, the scalp stimulating booster, I put this in every morning, just about. There were a few mornings I forgot. Usually I forgot the evening one more than I forgot the morning one, but there were a few mornings I forgot. So when you put this in, this little applicator, it's nice, but I actually like the applicator for the evening one better. This is a little thicker consistency, the morning booster one. So I guess that's why they felt like this applicator was best. And it gets in there. I do feel like if I have a nice style that I want to try to save for a few days, I do feel like I create a little bit more frizz. I try to be as gentle as possible when doing either the morning or the nighttime routine, but just, you know, working it in your scalp. I take my rings off, but still I feel like I work up more frizz than I like. And for my hair, it shows fast, I feel like, but it wasn't the end of the world. I could still save a good wash day for 2 days. 3 days was stretching it a little bit. I would disrupt my curl pattern too much and kind of stretch out the root base, and I just didn't like that. But I got used to the fact of doing it nearly every day. Like I said, there was only a couple times I forgot, and it wasn't too terribly bad. The scalp stimulating booster though, this does, especially if you get a little bit too much in one spot, in my opinion, it does tend to foam up. It has like a foamy feeling as you're massaging it in. And it takes a while to really work it in then once it foams up like that. But this did not leave any oily or greasy feeling on my scalp. It did absorb in very well, and I was very happy about that. And then for the full length density elixir, this is much more runny, as I've kind of alluded to. And if you're not careful, if you're putting it in, it'll just like run down your face or wherever you applied it. I could feel it running down the back of my head sometimes. This one to me seemed to absorb into my scalp a little bit better, and I liked that, as far as I didn't feel like I had to massage in it quite as long. But I really like this applicator tip here. It just gets in very easily. I feel like I don't disrupt my hair quite as much with this one. And I didn't show you a close-up of the other. This is a close-up of the other tip. So overall, it wasn't a bad experience. At first when I started, I was like, oh, I gotta do this for, you know, every day, twice a day. And you get used to it. Let's just take a look and see if I had any growth, any extra growth. So let's see, before I was right about to this line here. And if I stretch my hair out, I'm about a line lower, I feel like. I did look in the bathroom just so I could make sure that I was measuring it correctly. So I feel like I grew about a line. That's probably a little over an inch, about an inch and a half, which that's about what the average is. They say your hair grows about ½ inch every month. And so I feel like I'm right on track. Now, during this period when I applied all these products, I went through my regular fall shedding period, my fall shedding cycle that I usually do. It wasn't an alarming amount. These products did not stop the fall shedding, but they didn't make it any worse. So I just felt like I did my normal fall shedding. I'm through that now. So now I do feel like I have some new growth coming in areas where it was a little bit more thin. And I'm going to bring the camera just a little bit closer so you can see. So I tried to show you before when I was first applying these. These are like my thinnest areas. So hopefully you're getting a good view of that. I feel like there is a little bit more growth here. and on this side as well. Up here, it's still, I feel like, about the same thickness. My hair is pretty thick right up towards the top. I have troubles actually separating it to get to my scalp sometimes. And overall at this point, I haven't noticed it making a difference with like my ponytail size as far as the thickness of that, but it's a little too early to tell. These lengths that are just growing in have to actually get fur enough along, grow long enough for me to actually get them into my ponytail. They aren't there yet. But I do notice when I'm going through a wash cycle, my little pieces that are growing, my new baby hairs, tend to curl up and frizz and look a little funny, but that's okay. That's just part of the cycle of growing naturally curly hair. So, would I repurchase these? That's the big question. And I have to say, I don't know. At this time, I don't think I will. I may try it again if I feel like I'm running into an extra shedding period, but I'm going to enjoy some time of not always doing these scalp massages and see if I can get my wash days to last a little bit longer. So I guess it's just all in what you feel most comfortable with. If you feel like your hair is thinning to the point that you really need some help, these might be a really good option. If you don't feel like you need it, I wouldn't personally really worry about it, because if your hair is thick enough or you're happy with the density that you have, I wouldn't bother with the price and the application consistency that you need to do. So that's just my thoughts and opinions on these. Like I said, I'm going to give this a break for a while. I may pick it back up, I may not. And so, yeah, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. I'd love to answer more questions that you may have about these as best as I can. I'm not an expert, obviously. I'm just going on what my trial was for 3 months. So I'd love to hear from you though. Have you tried these products at all? And like I said, if you have any questions about what my experience was, I'd love to hear from you as well. And hopefully I can answer some of those. So until I see you again next week, have a great day. Bye.